Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of DudeWutPodcast. My name's Harry Dowling, and this time I am joined by my very good friend, it's Mr Callum Hamby. How the hell you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I had a few weeks of not being on.
Yeah, was it just 1 week or was it 2 weeks?
I think it was 2.
It's just one.
I can't remember. I was sick on Monday. I couldn't do it because I was sick. But
No, it was 2 actually because I didn't do one myself, so we took a week off, and then I had Fee on last week. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks for you.
Yeah.
Had a nice little break.
I mean, not really. No, we were really badly sick last week. So
okay.
I had just really, really bad colds, both of us.
That sucks.
And it just sucked because it was really hot as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was I hadn't had a cold that bad for so long. I had a really bad sore throat. Just felt like shit for 3 days.
That's
I still got a bit of a cough now, but it's going away.
Yeah.
But
so it's definitely a cold and not the vid round 3 for you, is it?
I tested myself, so yeah. I tested myself and it was nothing. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I feel fine now. But yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, if I sound a little out of breath at the beginning of this podcast, it's because I've only got Hamby for a short window this evening, and I've been at work, and I literally had to run some errands on the way home from work. So I have bombed home. I've literally run straight upstairs, turned my stuff on, and we're recording. So, if I'm a little bit warm. It's already warm in the UK at the minute, and I'm pretty warm, and I'm sat in a leather chair. So, also apologies for any of the noises if you can hear the chair. So other than being ill, dude, have you done anything the last couple of weeks?
No, not really. Actually, it's been a pretty chill few weeks actually. Which has been quite nice. The weekends we've kind of just gone to a couple barbecues here and there, and
nice.
Nothing really too crazy really. We're going on holiday in a couple of weeks, which I'm quite looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
But no, it's been pretty chill. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Well, it's been fairly standard for me. I haven't really done anything of note. Obviously, I haven't spoken to you much about it, but I did on the podcast last week. We got a new kitten, so it's been pretty full on with getting stuff sorted for him. We also went to Bristol yesterday, actually. Went to Bristol to go have a bit of a birthday meal, Fee's youngest sister's birthday. So went to Clifton, which is the posh part of Bristol. Had a real nice meal. That was nice. Weather was fantastic. And I am actually going away tomorrow evening. I'm meeting up with my dad, and we're going to the coast for a few days, taking the dog. So book some time off work. That'll be nice.
Cool.
So no, not much. There is one thing I wanted to say though. It's not anything I've been doing. It's actually what our pal T-Lad's been doing. So if you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel, I said a few weeks ago I'm thinking about getting into YouTube Shorts, almost like a TikTok-y sort of thing. But I feel like I'm sort of too far away from TikTok, so YouTube Shorts is the next best thing. So I said to Tomo, yeah, it basically is, yeah. I said to Tomo, we do a lot of these live streams and stuff like that, but Tomo plays a whole lot on his own anyway. And I said, look, if you get any little clips or anything like that, just chuck them on the Dude Wut channel, So that's what he's been doing. So there's about 3 or 4 shorts on there at the moment. One of them is going down really well, about 1,600 views. Just literally little clips. One of them is they've got proper clickbaity titles as well, which is quite funny. One of them is just called I Got Robbed, and it's literally just Tomo playing Far Cry, and he gets off his quad bike to talk to someone. Somebody gets on his quad bike and drives off, and that's the video. So it's like little shit like that. But as I say, one of them, it's got 1,600 views, something like that. And I watched it today, but I didn't have the sound on. And it's literally just him walking up to a guy in GTA and then walking away. And it's 16 seconds. I don't know what happens, but people are obviously finding it amusing. So, yeah, YouTube Shorts, Dude Wut YouTube Shorts. We're going to be putting more on there. Yeah, so hopefully there's more of them to come. Dude, as I said, I'm roasting. How's about we jump into everyone's favourite segment? It's What Are We Drinking?
What are we drinking?
Alright, so as I mentioned, I've come straight from work. I literally ran in, I chucked my stuff off, I set my gear up, and we're recording. So I have a beer, and it's spent about 3 minutes in the freezer. So it's warm. It's warm. It's not cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack it. I'm going to give you my impressions, but then I'm probably going to save it, put it back in the fridge, and have it later with my dinner. Because yeah, it's it's an ale. It's it's very warm. It's
lovely.
Yeah, nice. So I'll go second. Hamby, you can go first. What are you drinking today, man?
So I went to Aldi.
Okay.
I did my weekly food shop on Mondays. So
nice.
So that's why I normally have Aldi beers recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I got one of these small little ones called Half Pipe Session Pale Ale.
Nice.
And it's let's have a read of the back. Crafted in small batches using Cascade, Golding, Admiral, and Sentinel Columbus hops. There we go. Nice. Where's it made? I don't even know. Doesn't say. Kildare or an island.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So my hang on before you crack it. My understanding of a session beer is a beer that's usually a lower percentage, so that you can have a session. What's the percentage on that thing?
3.9, I think.
So 3. That's weird. You have that actually, because I picked up one today and it was a session. It was a 3.5, and I was like, yeah, I'll get this. But then I was like, well. Actually, I do fancy something a little bit stronger, so I didn't. But that looks pretty cool.
Is that one?
Yeah, that looks cool, man.
Yeah, Aldi've got quite a big selection actually of these kind of beers. So I'll give it a taste.
Go on.
Oh gosh, it is very hoppy. It's very, very fruity. It's very well, not like fruity, properly fruity, but like hoppy fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really tasty. It's like it's got quite a bit of a. I don't know if I would call it a session pale ale.
Does it taste stronger? Does it?
No. It's like it's like because normally for like a session beer, you wouldn't have an awful lot of hops in it. You would have like.
I know what you mean.
Kind of like a normal, because it's kind of hard to drink like pint after pint of like a really hoppy beer, but this is like quite hoppy. It's nice. It might be a little bit too hoppy for me actually.
No way.
But it's nice. It's not like unpleasant.
I reckon, to be fair, from everything you've said, I reckon I would probably love that. I really enjoy anything that's hoppy lagers are my thing at the minute, like real hoppy lagers.
Half Pipe. It's got a skull. Like on a skateboard.
Yeah, it's got a dude sort of tearing it up on a skateboard.
Yeah, Aldi. Like I can't remember how much it was. Like £1? I can't remember.
Really? Jeez.
Or maybe it might be more. I don't know. I can't actually remember. How much are the cans normally in Aldi?
I don't know, but I mean, like if you saw that in Asda, that would be £3.
I don't know how much it is. It might not be £1. I think it was like £1 something. I mean,
if it was £1, bro, I'm going to Aldi. I'm buying like 6 of them. That's good value.
I'm a convert to Aldi, man. Well, not convert. I've been going to Aldi for years, but like, I fucking love
Aldi. Yeah, Aldi is decent. It gets a bit of a bad rep with Lidl, but no, they're good supermarkets. You just need to sort of. Nah, Lidl's pretty good.
Lidl sucks, man.
Lidl has the bakery, which Aldi does not have.
I would never ever buy anything from a Lidl bakery. It's like literally all the stuff's like on show. Like everybody.
It is, but. They have like basically like a Nutella donut, and it is delicious. It's very good.
I don't know what it is, but you know what? Like where we grew up, there was an Aldi that like my mum and dad used to go to sometimes.
Yeah.
Or my mum used to go to on the way back from work, and sometimes she'd drag me in there. And like I just remember it. I don't know why. I just remember it stank really bad in there, and like it was like a really old. I don't know. Like I don't know, but like it just stank really bad, and it was like a really old, like Lidl. Like so, it was it was like a really it was like a really old building. It was horrible, and then the Aldi in town was like brand new, so it was like it was like really like swish and like European and stuff, and like. I don't know. I kind of just once you start going to Aldi, you're like I quite like their own stuff, and then you go to Lidl and it's all like completely different. You're like
yeah, that is true. There's a lot of stuff that Aldi does that I also really like, but maybe we'll do an episode on Aldi. But unfortunately, that's not today. So we'll move on, and I'll tell you what I'm drinking now. You already have seen this because you haven't had one, but I've had this around you before. So I went to the Asda, I was looking through it, and I sort of didn't have much time, and I was like, I did have some of the Blue Moon wheats the other night. I had two bottles, and I had a succulent Chinese meal, and I woke up at 4 a.m, absolutely hurling. So I've been staying away from the mango wheat beers. So I picked up something a little different. It has mango in it. Can't get too far. I love mango. It is a tropical ferret IPA. Badger Ales, they do the Thirsty Ferret, which is a nice beer. But they're doing this one sort of this summer called Tropical Ferret. And it's basically sort of a light pale ale with hints of passion fruit and mango. I have had it before. I thought it was pretty good. Not the best kind of fruity beer, but nice. Badger Ales is good. They did one a few years ago that was called like Golden Glory or something, and it was a peach flavored IPA, and that was delicious. But they don't make it anymore. So I'm on the Tropical Ferret. Let's crack this open, see how it is. Excuse the jingle. I've lost my bottle opener, so I'm having to use my keys. Smells good. I mean, it smells like 100% passion fruit juice, but if I remember, it doesn't actually taste like that. But that's a great smell to it. Let's give it a taste. That's warm. So usually I would have this ice cold.
Yeah.
It's still nice. It's still nice. It's not like boiling warm. It did manage to have a few minutes in the freezer, but it's just not cold enough.
Yeah.
But it's tasty. It's not too hoppy. It's not too fruity. It's sort of a good mix in the middle. It's the sort of thing you could easily drink a pint of in like a beer garden. It's just a summer ale is probably the best way to describe it. Badger Ales are from Dorset, I believe. It says a fruity IPA bursting with tropical passion fruit and mango flavors, combined with the American Amarillo and Centennial hop notes. I actually think you would like this, Hamby.
Yeah, I think I did have a sip of it when I was around.
You may have done.
Can't remember.
You may have done. I don't know how many like Heineken's Deep you were at that point though, or whatever it was you were drinking.
Heineken's Deep. I had like 3 beers that night.
No, I remember you having like 8.
That's completely false. I literally came home with like 5 or 6 beers. I had like 3.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't have another drink with me, so I probably will be sipping it through the pod. But as I said, I'm going to try and save that, chill it down, and then have it with a pizza or something later. That will hit the spot. If we're done with the beer talk, let's leave that segment there, bro.
What are we drinking?
All right. Hamby's on the podcast, which can mean only one thing. It's a very special segment that always comes right after the What Are We Drinking. It's Hamby's Ham Bone to Pick.
He's pissed off, he's angry, his name must be Hamby. Hamby's ham bone to pick.
So, this time of year, I really hate it because when I drive to work, or when I drive anywhere really, like I always, especially around here where I live, always get stuck behind tractors. Like
Yep.
you'd be like, oh, I gotta be somewhere in like 30 minutes, and you're stuck behind a tractor doing like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it just sucks, and it winds me up, and it's like, especially when I'm driving to work when there's like 20 cars in front of me, it's like, goddamn. Yeah.
It's really annoying, isn't it? Especially when see, for me, it happens all the time. But the thing is I'm on a little 125 motorbike, and I can't really, unless you're going at like 10 mile an hour, I can't really overtake very well.
Yeah.
But what's more annoying than being stuck right behind the tractor is when you're stuck maybe 2 or 3 cars behind, and nobody's trying to overtake. So I'm on a little 125, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going to take like 4 cars and a tractor. So I got to wait for everyone else, but nobody wants to overtake. So then you just sat there in a convoy, Like,
yeah, it sucks. It's always like July, August time as well when it's the worst. But yeah, shit sucks.
Sometimes you get those, decent tractor drivers, and they pull over and they like let everyone past and whatnot. And then sometimes you get the ones that are just almost sat like in the middle of the road, and they're just like, ain't nobody getting past me, Yeah, man, that's a pretty good one. That is really annoying. I'm pretty sure it actually happened to me. Happened to me a couple of days ago actually, and it was that situation, like I say, where I'm a few cars behind, and I just don't have the power, to get past them. But yeah, pretty goddamn annoying.
He's pissed off, he's angry, his name must be Hamby. Hamby's ham bone to pick.
All right, little bit of entertainment news now. Not as many stories as they usually are, because as I said, I only have Hamby for a short amount of time because he has something really important on this evening, and I said, oh god, man, like, we can rearrange or we can do something, what is it, what's happening? And he was like, oh, there's a game of football on. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, bro,
it's important to me.
Well, there you go. So we only have Hamby for a short amount of time, so we're going to get through this entertainment news and we'll get to the meat of the podcast. First bit of news. Now we're starting with a sad one. If you listened to the episode last week, or you just listened to entertainment news elsewhere, it might actually have been on the normal news, I don't know. But we reported last week that actor Annie Hetch, don't really know how to say it, it's either Anne or Annie Hetch, was in a she's an actor. She was in Quantico, Donnie Brasco, Another World, stuff like that. We reported that she was involved in a car crash and that she was in stable condition. About 3 days after that episode came out, I saw a headline. I showed it straight to Fee. Unfortunately, Annie Hetch has died, has passed away, aged 53. Apparently she was taken off life support on the Sunday after being involved in the car crash in LA on August 5th. Her rep confirmed. She was 53 years old. Yeah, she crashed after speeding through the Mar Vista neighborhood of West LA. She hit a garage, then continued to collide into a house. Her Mini caught fire and she was severely burned. Fortunately, she was declared legally dead in the state of California on Friday, but remained on life support until she was determined as a match for organ donation. So how can you be declared legally dead and yet be on life support?
I guess the doctors would say that there's no chance she's ever going to wake up.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, right. And I guess maybe she must. I don't know what the laws are in California. Yeah. But they must have like things like where they see if she's a match for anybody for organs, and I guess to do that, it's best to do that when the organs are fresh, isn't it? So maybe she asked for that to happen before she died. I don't know.
Maybe. Still sad. I mean, not a Donnie Brasco is obviously a massive film. I've seen it a few times, but me and Thee were having difficulty trying to like picture her. So not like a huge mainstream actor, but always sad. Like 53 is not old.
No.
So yeah, sad news to start with. Some music news now. Metallica are absolutely everywhere at the minute. Following on from the sort of success of Stranger Things. When have you seen the latest Stranger Things?
No, but I know that everyone's going nuts for Metallica.
Well, yeah, there's a character called Eddie, and he plays Master of Puppets by Metallica, a song that I don't actually like that much, to be honest. I'm not the world's biggest fan of Metallica either. The stuff I like of Metallica is the stuff that is considered by all the fans to be the worst, like the Saint Anger album I liked as a kid. Apparently that's their worst album.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I am trying to sort of get back into them, listen to them a bit more. I obviously know the classics and stuff. But yeah, they're everywhere at the minute. I can't scroll through Facebook without seeing something about Metallica. But there's a bit of news from the Metallica camp this week, and that is that frontman James Hetfield has reportedly filed for divorce from his wife, who he's been with for 25 years. And apparently who he basically says helped him get through all of his problems and work his anger out and everything, so it's kind of sad. He's reportedly filed for divorce from his wife. Hetfield, who's 59, filed documents in Colorado to divorce his long-term wife, Francesca Hetfield, and this is according to TMZ. It's reported that apparently the two are still in touch as they co-parent their daughters Callie and Marcella and their son Castor. So apparently they're still cool. They just have both decided to call it quits. Which is fair enough. Shit happens. Cool. People separate. But yeah, do you listen to Metallica, bro?
Not like for a long time. I used to like. I think I used to be into them when I was like a teenager, like 13, 14. I think I listened to like Injustice for All and Master of Puppets and stuff. And obviously, like it's all like classic rock and stuff now.
I know that's what I mean. It's like I know the classic ones, and when I was a kid, probably about the same kind of age, I had a giant Master of Puppets poster in my room for like 3 or 4 years. But like, I can't really say that I ever sat down and listened through that album at that age.
Yeah. I remember listening. I think like and Justice for All is probably like one of the first few albums I listened to properly. Actually, probably.
Oh really?
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to think. It's probably around about that time that I started listening to music properly. Yeah. But like, I don't dislike Metallica. I wouldn't say I'm like a massive fan, but like, I have a definite respect for him.
I've got the respect for him. It's just that I'm a big metalhead, and I guess you are as well. It sounds weird calling yourself a metalhead.
I wouldn't call myself that, but yeah.
But you're into heavy metal on a large spectrum.
Yeah.
But thrash metal is that sort of area of metal that I'm not so keen on.
Yeah.
For me growing up, it was all about like new metal, like System and stuff like that.
Limp Bizkit, bro.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit. Yeah, hell yeah, best band ever. I actually listened through their latest album.
Why?
Not that long ago. It's all right, but it's Okay. Here's some more music news for you. Are you a fan of Rage Against the Machine?
They're new metal, aren't they? Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. You know what? Not particularly, but.
No. So I've never really been that big a fan because when I was younger, if I didn't like something, that was it. Like I wouldn't bother, and I'm not a fan of Tom Morello, guitar player from Rage Against the Machine, because it always comes up to a massively like it's going to be a cool solo, and then he just does this shitty like wham 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 sort of sound, and I just think, I don't like that.
I liked him in Audio Slave, but I didn't really listen to much. Audio Slave, or is it Soundgarden? Which one's he in?
It's
I think it's Audio Slave.
Yeah,
I liked a lot of Audio Slave, but I never really listened to Rage Against the Machine that much, which is what obviously made him famous. But
so I started working my way through all their albums sort of middle of last year, and actually, I do actually quite like them. There's a lot of it's a lot of songs have got like the groove, but it's hard. But it can be a little bit too much. It can be a bit cheesy.
Yeah, the limited amount that I listen to them, like it's exactly what you said. It just sometimes it is a little bit corny. It's like,
and I mean, I've heard "Killing in the Name of" so many times. I never want to hear that song again.
No, that song's trash. I don't like
it. Although actually, there's a funny meme, isn't there, where it's like, the lyric is like some of those that like burn crosses are the same that something or other, and there's like a meme and it's like a little girl and it's like some of us who ride horses or something, and it's like with ponies and shit. Anyway, so they have actually like reformed, and they are touring, first time in 11 years they've been touring. However, the news is that Rage Against the Machine have cancelled their European tour dates following frontman Zach De La Rocha's leg injury. So apparently Rage have been forced to pull out of a string of European headline shows due to medical guidance because of De La Rocha's leg injury. It says that the band are currently playing their first run of shows for 11 years, but La Rocha injured himself while performing the second show of their public service announcement North American tour in Chicago. The vocalist finished the gig and has since continued to perform seated. It says the band intend to honour their remaining US dates, including Madison Square Garden on the 14th, which, of course, is that today or was that yesterday?
Yesterday.
I don't even know what the date was. I wonder if that actually went through. But it says that apparently it seems that the injury is not healed, and they put a big post out where they're like, we're really sorry, but Zach's got to go home for some R&R and stuff. So yeah, not a great sort of comeback, really, for Rage Against the Machine.
No.
And all that information comes from Guitar World. I should have said the Annie Hetch information came from Variety, and the Metallica information probably came from Guitar World as well. Next bit of news. Now, this is gaming news. I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima. It's supposed to be a very good game. It's on my list of games to play. I know that our pal Adam has played it and says it's amazing. It looks beautiful. It's a great game. It's very much like an Assassin's game, like a Creed game. But there's a movie coming out of it, and basically the news is that the Ghost of Tsushima movie apparently will have a complete Japanese cast, and the whole film is going to be in Japanese. The whole film is going to be in Japanese, subtitled. Director Chad Stahelski. I'm pretty sure he's the guy who directed John Wick, or who does the John Wick films.
Yeah.
But he's confirmed that his movie adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima will be a complete Japanese cast in Japanese. He recently spoke to Collider, and he said that while it may quote scare the shit out of most people, Sony is apparently on board with him making this film in Japanese, and he wants to make sure that Western audiences get used to reading subtitles more. Apparently is his reason to, which is fine for me because, like I've probably said on the pod before, I watch everything with subtitles.
I have a massive bugbear with watching things dubbed. I just think it's so dumb, and it's like, why would you? Like, I think it was like my girlfriend's parents. We watched like Squid Game, and I didn't. Just for the record, I didn't think it was that great, but whatever. It was like a hype thing, and they were like, but one of the things I liked about it was that it was all very Korean, you know. And we watched it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we watched it dubbed," and we stuck it on dubbed by accident for like 30 seconds. And like the accents, we were like, "What the fuck?" Like,
is everyone like super American?
Yeah. It's so bad. It's like, like, oh god, I can't. I have no idea why anybody watches it like that.
It's like, why would you? I mean, my first experience with dubbed I like a lot of martial arts films, and we're going to do a podcast on martial arts films at some point. Just decided not to do it today. But I like a lot of martial arts films, and when I was a kid, I really liked the Studio Ghibli films, the sort of Japanese, like, hand-drawn animated films. But they always have an American dub, and sometimes, back before streaming was as big as it was, when you bought the DVD, you didn't have a choice. Like, you only had, like, the dubbed copy. And, it'd be some amazing, like, beautiful Japanese artwork, Japanese characters. And you've got, they open their mouth and it's like, hey, bro, let's go and skim some stones on the lake or something. And it's just like, it just pulls you out of it so much.
Yeah.
Like that. And with dubbed films, it's like, that actor has a voice. Like, why are you taking away his voice because you can't be bothered to read the subtitles?
Yeah. And like, I know exactly what you mean. Because another one was, I know it's a show that you said you were watching, it was Dark. And that's in German.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we watched like a 30 seconds of that, like, dubbed. Yeah. And I was like, what's the point? Like, it's like for starters, like, it's German. It's not like that foreign of a language. It's like you can, like, I can imagine with something like Japanese, it'd be harder because you're just not used to hearing somebody speak Japanese. Whilst with German, it's like, okay, with subtitles, it kind of makes more sense. Like, you can kind of convey what the actor's trying to put across.
Yes, definitely.
But I was like, what's the point? It's like a waste of the actor's time. Like, the actor's like,
Yeah, I know.
Like, probably a very, accomplished actor, done well to get this role. You're just gonna, like, not listen to their lines.
Record over their voice. Yeah. So, funny you mentioned Dark, actually, because I've slowed down on it. I actually haven't watched an episode in a little while. It's not because I'm bored with it. It's just because other stuff has come up.
It's full on. Yeah.
But the one time I was so into watching it, but I had to do some stuff. And it's not the sort of thing, really, especially with subtitles. If you look away, you've missed something, basically. Yeah. So I did actually switch it to subbed to sort of hear what it sounded like. And I did watch it on subbed for about 5 minutes while I sort of sorted something out. But as soon as I was able to actually fully look at the screen again, I changed it straight back because it's ridiculous. Yeah. Also, it's always like the quality, the audio quality of the dub is always like really bad.
Yeah. It's really hard. It's really hard to make it sound any good. Yeah.
So Ghost of Tsushima, complete Japanese cast in Japanese. Can't wait for that, especially if Chad Stileski's directing it. That's going to be a lot of fun. All that information comes from Eurogamer. Right, next bit of news. And this is sort of updates from Camp Warner Brothers. So there's been a lot going on with them recently. I did report about it last week, about how they have scrapped the Batgirl movie that was finished. It's since been coming on. They're scrapping things left and right. Because of this merger they've done with Discovery. I don't know if they've been bought or if they've just merged, but Discovery bosses are apparently saying, like, we want to do what Marvel are doing. We're going to do a big, planned universe. We're not going to bring crap out. But unfortunately for all the actors who've just filmed loads of films, all of the films are being cancelled, basically. So the news is that apparently the Batman 2 sequel actually hasn't been greenlit yet at Warner Brothers. So as it stands right now, there isn't going to be a sequel to the Batman. Of course there will, because it did well, and like it was actually quite a good film. So there's definitely going to be one, but it's a little bit sort of up in the air at the minute because it's not officially greenlit. So my notes say, apparently, Warner Brothers was quick to announce that The Batman would be getting a sequel at this year's CinemaCon. However, Variety is reporting that despite the hype, the film does not officially yet. It doesn't officially have a green light yet. Both director Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson are expected to return, and The Batman 2 seems very likely to happen. Variety notes that the project is still in development and is likely years away from coming out. But all things considered, the Batman 2 will still go ahead because, as we said, it did well. It grossed something like $770 million. Batman 2, but don't expect it for for a long time. Basically, is the gist of it. Have you seen the Batman yet?
No, we're gonna wait till it comes to streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good, man. It's actually like surprisingly good.
I've heard.
Yeah. Pattinson is very good as Batman. I actually can't wait to see him do it again. And all that information comes from the website Joblo. Next bit of news. Now, this is another gaming news. This is also the last little bit of news. And this is that the Hogwarts Legacy game, a game that I am kind of interested in, but I probably won't buy it unless it comes at a Game Pass or something, then I'll play it. But the news is... Excuse me. The tropical ferret's coming for me. The news is that it's been delayed. It's been delayed until early 2023, and that the Switch version is going to come even later than that, apparently. So apparently the official Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account has announced that Hogwarts Legacy will no longer be releasing this holiday season, sort of Christmas time. Originally it was scheduled to hit shelves in 2021. The latest release date for the open world RPG is now February 10th, 2023. However, this is only for the Xbox, PlayStation and PC versions of the game. As I said, for Switch, you're going to be waiting a lot longer. And then just a bit of backstory about the game. So it's set in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Hogwarts Legacy takes place over 100 years before the events of the book series. Apparently the game allows you to create your own character, choose what house you want to be in, attend classes, and there's an original story involving goblins, sort of a goblin rebellion or something like that. Apparently the game will feature no multiplayer or microtransactions. We'll see. And they're opting for a story-driven single-player experience instead.
Sounds pretty good.
So, am I remembering this right? That you're not a massive Harry Potter fan, but your partner is, your girlfriend is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend is, yeah. But I like RPG games. And,
yeah.
It seems pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. So, maybe there's a way that you can sort of do that together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In 2023.
2023. Here we go. And that information comes from GameSpot. So yeah, Harry Potter. I know my friend Ben, who listens to this podcast all the time. Hey Ben. He absolutely loves Harry Potter, and he'll probably be a little bit annoyed at that because he probably had plans to play it at Christmas or something.
Just sounds like a Elder Scrolls game, but
basically
set in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
Okay, so we are currently coming up to 40 minutes, which is actually pretty good. So we're making good time. How's about we move on to the meat of this podcast, which we're not going to spend forever on, but we'll have a little chat about it. So this podcast is going to be called something like, and I sort of toyed with this name a little bit. It's going to be something like the best evil movie alien or aliens or some variation of that. Basically, the backstory as to why we're doing this episode is that film Prey came out on Disney Plus a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you've seen that yet, Hamby?
No, not yet, no.
Well, it's actually very good. Me and Fee watched it together. We both really enjoyed it. And that sort of got me on back on the Predator train. So I've been sort of re-watching through those films. And that's making me want to watch the Aliens again and all sorts of stuff. So I'm really into the sort of alien, films at the minute. So I thought what we would do is we'd basically just make a big old list of sort of some of the most notable aliens from movies, and we'd have a discussion, and ultimately maybe come up with our personal favourites or a combined favourite that we think is the best. So I started writing this down, I started going through it all, and I quickly realised that there's about 5 million movies with aliens in them. And this is it's way too big, it's too much. So that's where I put the sort of evil alien in there. So what we're looking at here are the bad guys, the nasty bastard aliens, not your Paul from Paul, or nothing Marvel because everyone's a goddamn alien in that. Nothing superhero-y. But we're going to be talking about a few of the aliens, the bad aliens. So, in front of you, Hamby, and in front of me now is a big old list of an alien and the film they come from. So what I thought we'd do is maybe spend 15, 20 minutes or something, just having a bit of a chat about ones and the film, and if we like it or not. So, I think we should leave the top two, because they're probably two of the most common, most popular ones. We'll maybe leave those for a minute. We'll come back to those.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll sort of pitch these against each other and knock them out that way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, is there any there, or any film there that you're familiar with that that you think's a pretty good alien, or bad alien?
So, like, I remember. So I watched Signs with like Mel Gibson.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I wasn't like that old. I was probably only like, I don't know. I don't know, probably under 10 years old. And I remember being like kind of creeped out by it, and I remember watching that movie again when I was like 16, and I remember like thinking like this movie's awful. Like I was like, but like when I was younger, I was like really scared about it, because I remember the alien in Signs. I can't remember if it has a name.
I've just got down the aliens.
I remember it was like the most boring looking alien I think ever. Like it's
god, yeah.
It's like, I just remember it had a big forehead. That's literally all I remember about it.
Yeah,
like,
it's basically a green man. Like, yeah.
I don't remember what does it do? Like,
so I'm in the same camp. I'm in the exact same camp as you. I watched it when I was younger. Terrified.
Yeah.
That scene where the alien like walks out the kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
And all it's doing is walking across a street. But that scared the absolute bollocks off me, like really bad. And then watched it a few years later, and I was like, actually, it's kind of crap. Like, because, I mean, the worst thing about that movie is not. It's not the movie itself, because the movie itself is quite good, I think.
Okay. I didn't like it.
You got a lot of good actors. Mel Gibson, just love the guy. But and I've probably said this on the podcast before, it's stupid, right? Because the aliens' big weakness and how you kill them is water.
Yeah.
So why the fuck are they fucking coming to Earth, which is like a big old ball of water, and they're like, that planet, we'll take that one.
We want it. What happens if it rains?
All that happens is fucking someone chucks a glass of water over one of them, and it goes, and then they all piss off.
It's like the plot of like
That's basically what happens. Yeah.
It's like the plot of like Wizard of Oz. It's like.
So the aliens from Signs, They
kind of suck.
They do. They're just sort of big generic aliens. I mean, one of them, if I remember right, can sort of shoot some gas out of his wrist or something. But we don't really see them being like crazy technologically advanced. We do see sort of their ships kind of thing, but that's about it. They're just creepy because you don't see them so much, but the moment where you do see them breaks it, because it's not that scary. What about, now this is a funny-ish one, what about the Martians from Mars Attacks?
Oh.
Have you seen Mars Attacks?
A long time ago.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah.
Like, I think that was another one of those movies that I probably watched when I was like, I don't know, like 8 years old or something. But it's like the stereotypical like alien, isn't it? It's like the bulb head and like
it's like a the
big
grey dome.
Grey, that's it. A grey.
Big glass dome, big brain head.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's actually a pretty messed up film. Actually, it's a Tim Burton film, I'm pretty sure. The cast in it is fantastic. The cast is absolutely amazing. You got like Tom Jones, Jack Black, bloody everyone is in this film, right? What's it? Pierce Brosnan is in it. There's so many people in it.
Yeah.
But I remember liking it, and the reason I put it on the list as a notable one is because the aliens, they look funny. They look stupid, they talk stupid, but straight away they come out of the ship, they start zapping, and they're turning everyone into skeletons like immediately, and they just start massacring the shit out of absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
And it even though it's kind of comedy, it's an apocalypse film. Like it's a full apocalypse movie. Like they do some messed up stuff. I think at one point they put like they sew Pierce Brosnan's head onto the body of a little tiny dog or something. And like they are absolutely evil bastards, and there's so many of them as well. That's why it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
because they're just like running around zapping the shit out of everyone. And the way they talk, they sort of do this like da 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 thing.
Yeah.
Creepy, man, creepy.
Yeah. I think I'm going to talk about, and to be fair, like before I came on, I didn't even think about this, but like the Daleks, like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not a massive Doctor Who fan. I did watch it a lot.
Not either,
I did watch it a lot when I was younger. But what I would say about the Daleks is that like they're kind of like they haven't really changed an awful lot in all these different renditions of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like Daleks are always like the big bad enemy, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's because like they're funny. Like everyone takes the mick out of them, obviously, because they are kind of a bit of a lame alien.
I mean, wasn't it for years and years and years? All you had to do was run up a flight of stairs to get away from them.
Walk up a flight of stairs, or like put something over their eyeball.
Push one over. Yeah. Just fucking push it over.
But like
flip it like a car.
Yeah, but I guess like in a kind of cheesy way, they're kind of like iconic, and I think that's probably. Yeah. I think that's kind of credit to like Doctor Who, really. Like, you know, a lot of people like it, and it's
they are incredibly iconic. I mean, I'm sure you heard stories from your parents. I most certainly did about them being terrified of Doctor Who when you're a kid. You know, hiding behind the sofa was the quote. You know, millions of children since the '60s or whatever hiding behind the sofa because the Daleks are coming.
Yeah.
Like they. I mean, it's basically a robot with a big plunger sticking out the middle of it or whatever. But, I mean, there's a lot of them. And then in later series, I think they fly and stuff.
Yeah, I think they got around the stairs problems.
And I guess you could put, like, the Cybermen on there as well. I guess they're aliens. I don't know.
I don't know. I think they were. But... yeah, Daleks, you know, exterminating shit. Like, I think they're pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty like iconic.
So far, I reckon the Daleks would kill the aliens from Signs, but Mars Attacks are still killing everyone at the minute.
At the moment, yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. With Doctor Who, I'm pretty sure the Daleks have nearly like taken over the universe at some point.
Probably. They must have. Probably.
They must have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought about it when I put it on there. I thought, oh god, like, you know, iconic alien British Dalek.
Yeah. No,
couldn't leave it off the list, really.
Yeah.
What about? A film that I love, but I find it quite hard to watch is John Carpenter's The Thing. You know, that film it's an absolute marvel of practical effects.
Yeah.
And the practical effects are so good that it's hard to watch, because when someone's head is getting ripped from their body, it actually looks like that, you know, and it's so goddamn gross.
Yeah.
But that alien is absolutely unstoppable. That thing is evil.
Yeah, I think it's probably like one of the scariest aliens, I think, as well.
Oh, I'm with you there.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like it's because it's not like I don't find like the grey kind of like aliens like scary in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
You know, like the ones from Mars Attack or the ones from like
just your bog standard grey.
Like it's not scary, but like the Thing, it's just like it's so messed up.
Yeah, love because it doesn't really have a physical form. Does it?
It's kind of a little bit like fucking what's its face in it. It kind of shape
Pennywise,
shifts. Pennywise, shape shifts and stuff, doesn't it? And
yeah. So I mean, we're different in that, like, for example, ghosts and ghosty things never scare me, but the greys and things like that do.
Really?
Like in film. Yeah, like aliens. I find aliens more scary than ghosts, and the dead and stuff like that, because it's the dead and that's so unbelievable. But depending on what your theories are about extraterrestrial life, you know, anything could be out there. That's the scary thing about it. But yeah, the Thing is absolutely something else. You know, like mutated dogs and people, and I actually played the Thing game back on like PS2 or something like that.
Wow.
And even that game was terrifying because it had this mechanic in it where people would start to freak out, and you had to calm people down because they would either freak out and then actually realize that they were the Thing and attack you, or they would freak and they would just kill themselves.
Yeah.
And you had to like be on it. Yeah, man. God damn, that was a scary game. Any more jump at you?
Oh, I think the prawns from District 9.
The prawns.
District 9's a great movie. I love it. It's like it's a really, really like great movie. I can't really fault it in too many ways. The aliens, like, I think it was because they went for like the hyper like realistic kind of like, because they're CGI, aren't they? I think and they must be. Yeah. So like they went for like that kind of ultra like high def like basically massive prawn, obviously. And I thought it's kind of creepy, but not scary, but like gross.
So
you know what I mean? Like,
I guess they're actually an odd one out because I looking at this list now, I actually wouldn't call the prawns evil. Aren't they there because their ship like broke and they trying to leave but they can't, and they end up getting, you know, fully like segregated and put in camps and treated horribly by the humans. So I guess the prawns kind of aren't evil. Yeah.
They're just gross.
But I know what you mean. Like the director Neil Blomkamp, his style of CG is so like photoreal.
Yeah, that's what I remember about it. I really love that movie.
It's a great film, and we're still waiting for District 10. When's it going to happen?
Yeah.
What about so you I mean, we'll gloss over it, but Pennywise. Yeah. Pennywise technically is an alien.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's a pretty scary one as well. I think it's similar. It's similar to the Thing. It's like, to me, like, that's scarier, like an alien that kind of changes and like does creepy shit. You know,
because it's more compared to the Thing. Pennywise will talk to you and scare the shit out of you before he kills you, kind of thing.
Yeah, and Pennywise.
Whereas the Thing, you wouldn't know that you were the Thing.
Yeah, Pennywise changes into something that you're scared of, basically, isn't he? Or you have a morbid fear of. I think the only other one on here that I was going to mention was, well, there might be a few, but I guess one of them, just because I think it's kind of whack, but I is where is it? Oh yeah, the Martians from War of the Worlds. Like they're like up there with the wackest aliens of all time.
Yeah, doesn't one of them just get a cold?
Yeah, that's literally like the plot of like it's the plot of the original radio, famous radio show, and then the 2 movies that there's been. I think one of them with the recent one with Tom Cruise.
Actually, funnily enough, we went to school with a girl called Emily Jasper. She worked on that second War of the Worlds film.
She really?
Yeah, she's with the BBC. She's with movies. She does all that stuff now.
Oh wow,
really impressive.
Oh wow.
But yeah, she worked on that War of the Worlds.
I think they're up there with the aliens from Signs for like. I mean, you literally have to like cough at them and like, and they die.
Oh yeah.
So they're just kind of. I mean, I know they're kind of scary, especially like the new remake of it. But
it's not them that's scary though. It's their machines.
Yeah.
Like the harvesting machines and stuff.
Yeah.
They are actually kind of whack because they're, like you say, they're sat in the thing, and then one of them gets a cold, and then it's hanging out of the thing, dead.
Yeah. Whack.
So far, before
I was going to say, you're going to do the big ones now, the heavy hitters.
Well, so I was just about to say, before we carry on, let's do a quick recap. I think that so far the Thing has killed everyone, but now in my mind it's the Thing versus Pennywise, and who's winning that fight?
Oh. I think probably the Thing.
I think personally that Pennywise, the Thing would win without Pennywise knowing he's lost.
Yeah,
I mean, he would be infected straight up, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think Pennywise's true form isn't he just a great big space spider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I'd vote for the Thing.
Okay, a couple more quickly. I couldn't leave out Edgar the Bug from Men in Black. So, Edgar the Bug wears that guy's like skin for so much of the film, you know, and he goes to see his wife, and she's like, "Do you want some drink?" And he's like, "Water,
yeah.
Sugar, more sugar." You know, like what a great film.
Yeah.
Then obviously transforms into a huge bug and gets blown up from the inside out by Will Smith. You know, I put the Decepticons on there because they are bad aliens.
You don't really think of them as aliens, but yeah, I know you don't because they're like machines, obviously, but like
yeah. I still think so far the Thing is just tearing through all those things.
I think we should go over the classics. So like,
okay, so
I think. Sorry.
Go on.
It's on. Were you going to get to it? Probably.
Carry on, bro.
Yeah, I'll say about the xenomorph from Alien, because like I think I've said this to you. Like I love Alien, but I don't like Aliens. Where the second one.
Okay,
but
that's a spicy take.
I think I've said to you this before, and it is a spicy take. But like I love Alien. The first thing I think it's like great movie, classic, obviously, because I think they just did a great job at making the alien, the xenomorph, like really scary. You know, and the suspense that builds up to it. And then I think that the second one doesn't have that in any way. The
second one's more like gung ho, let's spray a load of aliens down, isn't it?
And I get like with the Alien franchise, I get that has become more. That's like, you know, the theme is like aliens, but I don't know. I just, in terms of like movies that I enjoyed watching, because I was like, you know, scared of the actual main alien. Like the alien, like stellar. Like I don't know. I think it's like, I think if you had to on this list, I think if you had to pick of like iconic aliens, I'd probably say it was Xenomorph.
I think Xenomorph probably would be at the top of the list. Yeah. So you've got a spicy take in saying that you don't like Aliens, or you prefer Alien 1 to Aliens.
I prefer Alien to Aliens.
Here's a spicy take for you. I think that Alien 3 is the best out of all of them.
Yeah, it's good. It's still not got nothing on the first.
And the reason it's spicy is because it's considered to be the worst. A lot of people hate it. I love it. It's a David Fincher movie. It goes back to being very dark, very enclosed.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a few aliens, you know, but you know, I just really love the third one, you know, and the ending, like, I mean, gonna spoil it because it's decades old at this point, but like the ending where David Fincher is like, fuck it, let's kill the main character, and like Sigourney Weaver just like fucking, you know, 5-star frog splashes off that thing into the lava and gets chest busted as she's falling, and like,
yeah.
I think the third one's great. I love all of them except for like probably actually everything after Alien 3.
Yeah.
Because it just sort of goes off the cliff downhill. But yeah, no, Alien 3 is my favourite, and I am in the minority there.
Yeah.
So obviously we mentioned it a little bit earlier. The other, I would, you know, say the other sort of mega alien has got to be the Predator. You know, so that the Predator species is called a Yautja. There's all different sort of subspecies of Yautja that we've seen in all the films, but I think that the Predator is a tough enemy, and probably because even though the Xenomorph is smart, like it'll do stuff like, you know, it'll injure itself so that its blood will burn through something so that it can get to you or whatever. But the Predator is way more humanoid. You know, it's smart. It's got, you know, hands, and it has like tech devices and stuff like that. it's obviously a sort of the whole thing about the predators is that they are like basically big game hunters on safari. That's the whole thing about Predator.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely brutal, absolutely brutal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Obviously there's been a couple of Alien versus Predator films. Unfortunately, they both suck really bad. Although the second one did actually give us the Predalien, the cross.
Oh yeah.
Although the film is so visually dark that you can't even see it. Like, I literally watched it last night. Why the hell is that film so dark? But yeah, so we didn't want to mention those two right at the start because they're sort of like the big two, aren't they? Really, when you think of like evil aliens, you definitely think of the Xenomorph, 100%.
Yeah, I think I have seen a lot of the Predator movies, but I do think the more iconic of the two is the Xenomorph. But yeah, it's close. It's close.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I think the Xenomorph is scarier because it's less human.
Yeah.
Whereas the Predator, even though it's got that, like, you one ugly motherfucker, like that fucking mandible face thing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
When it's wearing the mask and stuff, like, from a distance, it could be a man, whereas a Xenomorph is, like, scuttling around on the ceiling and shit, gobbing everywhere,
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. So the Thing's still alive. The Thing has walked into a room and you've got the Predator on one side and the Xenomorph on the other. Who's walking out that room?
I mean, the Thing is so OP. So it's kind of hard to figure. I'd like to think maybe like the Predator would maybe like put up a bit of a fight. The Xenomorph would get slapped.
Yeah, Xenomorph would get slapped. So what I think would happen is I think the Predator would actually win, but in doing so, they would all lose because I think the Predator would just be like, fuck this, and he'd just set off his nuke and just blow them all to hell.
Yeah.
I think that's what would happen. I fully think that, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I think the Xenomorph is scary, but like it would get slapped by the Thing, yeah.
I think it would be... I don't think it would actually last 2 seconds.
No, yeah.
I think it would instantly get like morphed into the Thing, and then you've got like a Xeno Thing coming after Predator. I reckon Predator would like sheath his sword and be like, "Not a chance, mate." Beep, boom. So, I mean, I think I started this by saying we'd say which one is the best and whatnot. It's pretty much impossible. Everyone has favourites. I'm on a Predator roll at the minute, so I'm a bit sort of biased to say that I think the Predator is like the best evil alien. But actually, judging by what we're saying, it seems the Thing is pretty bad.
I didn't even think about it beforehand, but it's like kind of OP.
Yeah.
So he's always gonna win.
So just to quickly run through, not to talk about them, but just to run through a few others that were on the list, because there's a lot on here. We have the Mimics from Live, Die, Repeat, who when they get killed they can like manipulate time, which is kind of cool. The Death Angels from A Quiet Place, Clover from Cloverfield, the Aliens from The World's End, the Blue Aliens from They Live, which is another John Carpenter. That's a very good film. Really good. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I've not seen that.
Rowdy Roddy Piper, like a wrestling legend in the Alien movie, like, very good. The Arachnids from Starship Troopers, those are nasty bastards. The Harvesters from Independence Day, the Bioraptors from Pitch Black, of course the Kaiju from Pacific Rim. Those things are beast.
Yeah.
I do still think the Thing would just kill one of those, though. And then you've got like a Kaiju Thing that's just going to destroy the world. The Engineers from Prometheus, a film that I thought was so goddamn bad. I've never seen it since. The Blob from The Blob. The Tet from Oblivion, which is basically a giant alien AI. The Harvesters from Skyline. And the aliens, well, just generic aliens from films such as Fire in the Sky and The Fourth Kind. What would be really cool is if you let us know what you think is your favorite ultimate evil movie, Alien. You can send us an email, dudewutpodcast@gmail.com, or comment on this post when it gets put out. Maybe give us a little rundown. Let us know who's fighting who. You know how it's going down exactly. That would be super interesting to know. Hamby, we're running out of time, so how's about we end this podcast right here, bro?
Oh yeah.
It's been really great having you on. Obviously, dude, I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I did speak to our pal Grizzly a few days ago. I have actually booked him in for an upcoming one soon, so hopefully we get you on that as well, and we can have a sort of a reunion of the trio. Grizzly Bear hasn't been on very many recently because he's been off. Well, he was off work for months and months and months. He's actually now back at work now, so his schedule's all over the place, which is a shame. But I've booked him in. It's the 20-something. He's coming on, so we'll have him then. Okay, well, as I said, if you want to get in touch with us, send us an email, dudewutpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram @DudeWutPodcast, on Facebook, facebook.com/DudeWutPodcast. If you really want to help out, what you can do is leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice. The more stars, the more we get pushed around the algorithms and stuff, so that would really help. You can also be a mega fan of the podcast by going to buymeacoffee.com/DudeWutPodcast or heading to our link tree. Scroll down, you'll see a link for Buy Me a Coffee. Click on that, and you'll have the option to donate anywhere from £1 to £5 towards the podcast. Everything you do donate will be put into the general upkeep of the pod, because it does actually cost some pennies every week. But, of course, it's your hard-earned money, so only do it if you absolutely want to. Now, if you really want to, you can take it a step further, and you can actually become a producer of the show. How cool is that? Full-on producer. You can put that on your IMDb page. It just randomly reminded me of our friend Robbo, who has an IMDb page because he was once on an episode of Wife Swap.
Basically a celebrity.
Yeah, he is, man. He's a full-on celebrity. Yeah, so you can go on to Buy Me a Coffee, and you can choose to do the subscription. It's £2 a month, and basically what that gives you is a hard line directly to us. You can recommend things, topics, suggestions, get in touch with us while we're live recording, so stuff like that. It's there if you want it. We will, of course, be back this time next week for another episode of the main podcast, and hopefully there will be a live stream on Friday. Hopefully. As I said, I am going away for a few days. I'm not entirely sure when I'm back, so hopefully there will be. There only wasn't last week because we're having a bit of a drought of things to play at the minute, so please recommend games. Me and Tomo were kind of ready to go, and the only thing we had to play was more Call of Duty, and I'm very aware that we've done that a lot, and I kind of didn't want to just keep pushing the same shit out for you guys. So there wasn't one last week, but hopefully there will be this week. As I said, in the meantime, there's also the shorts that are going up on YouTube as well. So take it easy, everyone. It was great chatting to you. Great chatting to you as well, Hamby. And we'll see you all next week. Take it easy, everyone.
See you later.